In D&D, one of the first things you have to do is create your character. Now, the first two things you have to do while creating your character is to pick the race and the class.
Now in D&D there are a whole host of different races and classes, and we're going to be going over all the ones in the player's handbook.
Gnomes are a race in D&D that are basically 4 feet tall. They have an ability plus of 2 intelligence, and their normal age group is between 40, I believe, 40 to 350, like 300 years. They have a usual of good and neutral alignment, and it's kind of unusual to have an evil gnome, but their size is small. Their speed is 25 feet per second as walking speed. They speak Gnomish and Common. They have 2 subraces, and the subraces are basically forest and rock gnomes. And those 2 gnomes have their own little special skills and abilities. They have special they have a special trait for the forest gnomes that allow them to speak to small animals such as squirrels and other like skunks or something like that. And they there's also they can cast minor illusion cantrips. They also have a +1 dexterity, and the rock gnome has a +1 constitution, and has the tinker ability. The tinker ability allows them to make small, tiny clockwork objects that allow them to basically work as a fire starter, a toy, or a music box. These break after these 24 hours, and they will have to be repaired, or they can be taken down again to be used 3 more times. And that's about it about the gnome. Yes.
So humans, they have an ability score. They have a +1 to all stat bonuses. They have their age ranges for about to 80 years old. So their size, they're about medium size. They have alignments that changes because they're usually good. Their speed is the 30 base speed. They speak Common as one of their language, and then they can study any other one language. They have no subraces like nationalities. That's about it. No special skills or special traits. They're normal, the average. So that's just about everything on humans.
Elves, their ability score increased, their dexterity is increased by 2. They're declared adults at age 100, and they can live up to 750. They're typically good, but can sometimes be neutral. Their size, they're a little shorter than humans. Their base walking speed is 30 feet. Their languages is Common and Elvish. Their subraces is High Elf, Wood Elf, and Dark Elf. High Elf +1 to intelligence, Wood Elf +1 to wisdom, 35 speed, and they can hide in woods very well. Drow and Dark Elves +1 to charisma, superior darkness vision, sensitive to sunlight, and they can have Drow magic lighting. And their special skills
dwarves. Dwarves are they have an ability score of a +2 constitution. They have the second longest lifespan of 400 years, and they have dark vision. Their alignments are good. They're a little short. They're shorter than elves, and their speed, they're slower. They have only 25 base speed. They speak common, and that's in common. So their subraces are mountain, hill, and Duergar, but Duergar you cannot play because they don't have it out yet. And they have special skills with stone cunning. They have a special bonus to any stonework. The mountain dwarves have a +2 strength. Hill dwarves have a +1 wisdom. And they have an advantage to poison saves. That's proficiency in one trait only, and that's just about it on dwarves.
Half-elves are playable characters, like a playable race that you can play that is domestic and will prevent racist tensions between the group if the group has multiple races. It has a +2 on charisma and 2 other abilities they're choosing for ability score. And the age range, it turns from young to adult at the year of 20 and can exceed the lifespan of 180 years. It normally has an alignment of chaotic, but can be good or evil. It's a medium character. The speed is 30 base. The base is 30, and the languages they can speak is Elvish and Common and one additional language of your choosing. And there are no subraces for half-elves. They have a few special traits. One is Fey Ancestry, where you cannot be put to sleep by magical means. You can still be put to sleep by a poison, well not technically a poison, a drug or anything like that. And you also get an advantage on saving throws against Charming. You also have Dark Vision, which allows you to have better vision in dark conditions. You also get to I don't know if this falls under special skills, special traits, but you get to have 2 extra proficiencies and 2 skills. And I believe that's it about half-elves.
So halflings, normal halflings have an ability score of their dexterity is +2. The the 2 subraces of halflings, their boosts are for Lightfoot, their charisma is +1. For stout, their constitution is +1. For their age, they get to adulthood at age 20, and their lives usually end at about age 20. At age 50. They are lawfully good, and they're usually 3 feet tall and weigh about 40 pounds. And they have a base walking speed of 25 feet. Their languages are Common and Halfling. And they're just pretty dang cool. Pretty short, like midgets. Pretty funny. Sometimes.
So, a Dragonborn, which is they live for about 80 years. They have a +2 strength and +1 charisma. Their alignments are always going to the extreme with chaotic evil or like really, really good. So they have a special ability where whatever their ancestor dragon was, they have a breath weapon of fire, cold, whatever the ancestors' breath weapon was, and they have the resistance of that breath weapon that they have. They have a resistance to that. They have no sub-races. They speak Draconic and Common. Their size, they're about medium, and they have a 30 base speed. And whenever they're young, they have a nickname that only people who knew them, the only creatures that knew them, whenever they used it, can call them like that by that name. And once they're adults, they can't call them like that. They can't call them by that name anymore. So they get a whole new name. They have clans, and they will not ask the gods for help first. They will go to another clan and ask them for help, and then they'll ask for the gods. So that's just about everything on Dragonborn.
Tieflings are a demonic class demonic race in D&D that have, they're not really trusted in public. They're looked upon as, if a guy walked into a store with a machine gun, would you trust him to not steal your wares or point the gun at you? It's sort of that's what the stereotype is. Their ability score, they get a +1, that's 1 to intelligence and +2 to charisma. They age at the same rate as humans, but live a few years longer, 5 years. They're normally a neutral alignment. They are a medium-sized creature with base speed of 30. They speak Infernal and Common. They have no sub-races. They have a few special traits. They are basically the special traits are Dark Vision, there's Hellish Fire Resistance, and there's also Hellish Legacy, I believe, where Hellish Legacy allows them to cast 2 different spells. And basically how it's treated is, when you reach 3rd level, you're able to cast a spell that kind of counts as a 2nd level spell, which is basically allowing you to do the Hellish Rebuke once per day at a 2nd level. And then there is the Darkness spell, which we cast it once per day, once you reach 5th level. And the Tieflings, that's about it about the Tieflings.
Alright, Half-Orcs, their ability score is, their strength is +2, their constitution is +1. They mature faster than humans, and they reach adulthood at age 14, and they're noticeably growing a lot faster than humans, and they rarely live past age 75. And they have their alignments. They inherit a tendency towards chaos, and their size is 5 to 6 feet. Their base walking speed is 30 feet, and their languages is Common and Orc, and their special skills is Savage Attack, which is anytime you can score a critical hit with a melee weapon, you get to roll extra damage dice and add it to the damage. Their Relentless Endurance, that's another special skill. If they die, they can reset to 1 hit point, but only once per round, or once per every single time they rest. I guess you could put it.